Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name, after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
Okay, so we're going to start in standing, and if you like, just for that ease of transition, I'll turn myself sideways as well. Place your folded up blanket at the front end of your mat, and we're going to do a little stomping to start. So if you don't mind standing on your blanket, stand on first. Just make sure that there's not too many terrible lumps or bumps or anything that's going to kind of get in your way. And then we're going to start with just stepping the feet. So just like you're doing like a little march, just find a light little stepping pattern. Notice, just even with that softness of the blanket underneath you, maybe notice that little bit of instability that you might find. And then you'll choose your own rhythm for this, but we're going to give a couple of good stomps with one leg and then a couple of good stomps with the other leg. So however many times you like, there's no right or wrong, but we just want to kind of get like a little bit of an impact, a little bit of stomp, but the blanket's going to offer a little bit of cushioning. So we're going to pay attention to what that feels like, to have that bit of cushioning underneath. Let your body bounce, stomp your foot just as much as feels good. It doesn't have to be extreme. And then only if it feels comfortable and you feel safe to do so. If you can, for a moment here, close your eyes down, continue with that stomping at whatever pattern works good for you. Notice where in your physical body you notice movement happening based on your stomping. Take one more little stomp, and then we're going to step off of our blanket. So step yourself off, pause just for a moment. Notice your body, notice the energy that you may feel a little energized or tingly. Notice that. And now we're going to start to stomp here off of our blanket. But if you get here and this doesn't feel good for whatever reason, if you have any osteo stuff and you know you need to be a little bit more mindful, then you'll step back on your blanket. But if it feels okay to be here, take it back into that little stomping rhythm, one foot in the other. One more little stomp each foot, or just even yourself out, and then let everything come to stillness. Soft shoulders, soft knees, soften your eyes or close them down. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Take a moment here just to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, step your feet slightly wider just so you have a really nice wide base of support. Keep the hand on the heart, the hand that's on the belly, stack that on top of the hand that's on the heart. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. And as you exhale, tuck your chin down towards your chest. And then you're just going to keep that going for a few cycles of breath. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you lower, and then you find a good range of motion that makes sense to you. Take one more nod of the head up and down. And then release your hands, bring the hands behind the back with a light interlace of the fingers. So just enough to keep a slight bit of opening in the chest, whatever hand grab works good for you. And then let your hands kind of find that more restful position, and then start to bring your head into a little tick-tock, just dropping the head side to side. One more little tick-tock of the head side to side. And then as your head comes to center, release your arms just out at your sides. Inhale, arms are going to lift up and overhead, but keep it light and loose. And then as you exhale, just let your arms float down, and maybe you flip your palms if that feels like a nice movement for the shoulders. Inhale, arms are going to lift. Exhale, arms are going to float down. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, arms float down. Inhale, arms lift. Bring the hands together above your head, just like you're doing a little bit of a clap, and then press into your palms and then release. Press into your palms and release. Press into your palms and then release, and then flip your palms, float your hands down, take a couple little shrugs of your shoulders. And then once you've kind of shrugged your shoulders out, we're going to step the toes and the balls of the feet onto our folded up blanket, but we're going to pigeon our toes slightly. So as you step your toes and the balls of the feet on, walk it so that imagine that your pinky toes are pointing to the front end of your mat, and I'll turn myself sideways just so you can see. So as I step on, my feet are about hip width distance apart, but my big toes are stepped in towards each other so that the pinky toes are pointing straight forward. So find that positioning with your feet. And then once you've found that positioning with your feet, first things first, just make sure that feels safe and comfortable to your knees and your hips. And then we're going to take little tiny micro bends of the knees. So we're keeping our toes slightly pointed in towards each other. Pinky toes are pointing forward. Bend your knees just a little bit. This is just a little check-in. We want to make sure our knees feel comfortable with that slight pigeon toe. And then if all of this feels good, you're going to leave it as it is. If it does not feel good, you're going to readjust your legs to whatever comfortable position you like the best. One more little bounce of those knees, and then keep a slight micro bend. Inhale, lift your chin up. As you exhale, you're going to keep that micro bend in your knees, tuck your chin down. We're going to roll our way down. Once you hit the end point of your fold, you're going to come right back up. So you're going to pull the abdominal muscles in, roll your way up, roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down, bend your knees, roll your way down. Once you hit that end point of your fold, you're going to come right back up. Bend your knees a lot, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll your way up. Roll the shoulders down and back. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck down. This time we're going to roll our way down and stay there. So once you found the end point of your fold, now we're going to wag the hips a little side to side. So keep your knees bent. Keep your feet on your towel or your blanket if you can. If you get here and you're finding this movement, you may feel a little sensation on the outsides of your calf muscles and around the outsides of your ankles. So just make sure that it feels like a safe maneuver. Nice. Take one more little rock of those hips side to side, and then slowly and mindfully step your feet off of your little blanket. And now we're going to come all the way down. So you're going to bend your knees, sit your butt down onto the ground, and we're going to work our way all the way down onto our back. So if you want to, you can move your blanket out of the way. We will bring it back into play, but for right now, if you want, scooch it off to the side, come down onto your back, and then step your feet nice and wide. So think feet to the outer edges of your mat. Once you've got your feet in that wide position, right into some big giant windshield wipers. Swish your knees side to side. As much big range of motion as you can find here, but for some of us, it just takes a little time. So you just give the time that it needs so you find as much range of motion as you can. Awesome. Now, the next time your knees drop over to the right, stay there. In this position, we're going to take like you're doing a little pelvic tilt. So it's not going to be a big range of motion, but you're going to imagine that you're doing a little pelvic tilt. So you're going to tip the hips forward and then tip them back slightly. So not big range of motion, but just to find and then generate a little bit of movement as you keep that little bit of windshield wiper off to the right. Take one more little pelvic tilt and then find your neutral hip position. Bring your knees back to the center, drop your knees over to the left, let them sink all the way down. Once you've found that position, take it into a light little pelvic tilt. Not a big range of motion here. So you're just going to feel maybe a little tug in that right front pocket area, maybe a little bit along the side. So just kind of tune in and notice where in your body do you feel sensation. One more little pelvic tilt here, and then we're going to bring the knees back over to the right. As you drop the knees over to the right, this time we're going to imagine that we're doing our hips in circles, like you're doing little hula hoop circles, which means your top knee might want to lift and move a little bit. Let your legs do whatever they do, but see if you can imagine that you're drawing little hula hoop circles in this little twist. And then if you're going in one particular direction, take your hips, circle them the other way. Nice. One more little circle around, and then when you're ready, take your knees, pick them up, drop them over to the left. Once you've got that over on the other side, now draw those hula hoop circles with your hips here. Notice little subtle variations. One leg might feel a little different than the other. You might have a little bit more range of motion from one side compared to the other. There's no right or wrong, but just notice. And then if you're going in a particular direction and you like to reverse, take your circles and draw them the other way. Wonderful. One more little circle around, and then let that come to stillness. Bring your knees back to center. Knees are going to drop in towards each other, so legs are going to be in that constructive rest position. Arms are going to come up into cactus or goalpost position. So get your arms set up, and then we're going to focus on our rib cage or our sternum. So we're going to think about lifting the sternum up. Let the backs of the ribs lift and arch, and then pull the back of your rib cage down like you're pressing your upper back against the floor. Let your rib cage lift, open the chest and expand. Feel that little arch in the back, and then pull the backs of the ribs down. Do that one more time. Inhale and lift your chest just a little bit. Exhale to pull it back so that the ribs feel connected to the floor, and then let your abdominal muscles kick on, and we're going to keep and maintain that feeling of the backs of the ribs connected to the floor. Once you feel like you've got that connection of the backs of the ribs connected to the floor, now our arms are going to slide up alongside the ears. And then as you exhale, pull the elbows back down so they're in line with the shoulders. Inhale and stretch your arms up, but keep the backs of your ribs connected to the floor. Exhale, pull the elbows back down. Beautiful. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale and pull them back down. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale and pull them back down. One more time. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, pull them back down. Keep that cactus or goalpost position and add a head turn. So everything else is going to stay as it is. The abdominal muscles are kicked on. The backs of the ribs are staying connected to the floor. Arms are in that cactus or goalpost position, and we're just turning the head side to side with as much range of motion as you can find. One more turn of the head side to side. And then the next time your head turns to the right, stay there and add a little tiny nod of the head up and down. One more nod of the head up and down. And then head is going to turn all the way over to the left, and then add the nod of the head up and down there. Nice. One more nod of your head up and down, and then head's going to return to center. Arms are just going to come down in a more comfortable position. So maybe anatomical position, whatever feels good. Toe heel your feet in so they're about hip width distance apart. And we're going to start with our little figure 4 prep. So we're going to just pick one leg up, bring it across, pick the other leg up, bring it across. We're not even going to our end range of motion. We're just allowing a little bit of time to find some external rotation in the thigh bone and kind of tune in and notice, how do your knees feel? How do your hips feel? One more little figure 4 preparation. And then the next time both feet are back down on the ground, we're going to pull the right knee towards the chest, extend the foot up towards the ceiling, maybe a little bit of reach through the toe, lower it all the way down to the ground, but the heel is going to hover, pull the knee up into the chest, extend the foot up, reach it nice and long, but the heel hovers, pull the knee into the chest, up towards the ceiling, reach it nice and long. Take 2 more times through at whatever pace works good for you. And then the next time you bend that knee, bring it into that bent knee standing position, and we're switched to the other side. Left knee is going to come into the chest, reach that toe up towards the ceiling, nice and long to the end of your mat. Keep the heel hovering, and away we go. Find a couple of reps here, just working at your pace. One more time through. And then the next time you lower that leg down, bend that knee, both feet on the ground. Now we're going to move right into the micro hip bridges. So if you like, readjust your hands, and then we're going to lift the hips up so barely you could slide one palm underneath your butt and then lower it back down. And now we're going to add the breath. Exhale, you're going to lift the hips up just one hand high. Inhale and lower back down. Exhale and lift your hips up. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to lift up. Inhale to lower down. 2 more times through, working on that focus of breath connection. So exhale as you lift up. Inhale to release. And then the next time you release down, take that right leg across the left into a figure 4 position. And this time we're going to take our right hand to the inner thigh. So we're going to push the right hand into the inner thigh, but the inner thigh is going to resist. So you're pushing your hand down, but the inner thigh is pushing up. So we're going to feel that inner thigh kick on. Push your hand down, hold that action for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften that position, step your foot off. We're going to switch right to the other side. Left leg is going to come across the right. Get your figure 4 set up. Left hand to the inner thigh, gently push into the inner thigh, but now we're going to add that action. So inner thigh is going to push up into the hand, and the hand is going to resist. And we're going to hold that resistance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that, step that foot off. Right leg is going to come back into figure 4 position, soft to start. And then we're just going to take a couple of leg lifts. So the left leg is going to lift and lower. Nothing extreme here. We're just finding a little bit of range of motion and kind of noticing, how do your hips feel? How do your knees feel? One more up and down with this softer position. And then the next time your left foot touches down, we're going to engage the right leg. So you're going to imagine that you're pushing your right leg down towards the ground, and the left leg is creating that barrier or resistance. So we're going to push the right leg down. You may feel the outside of your glutes or the outside of your thigh kick on. And if you can, hands on, you might be able to feel those muscles feeling like they're contracting and engaged. So see if you can hold and maintain that downward push of the right leg, but now we're going to add that resistance with the left leg. So as you lift up, left leg is going to create that resistance. Right leg is pushing down the entire time. Left leg is going to let you push it up towards the chest, and then right leg is going to push down, and left foot's going to touch down to the ground. Keep that nice bit of resistance. So right leg is pushing down as the left leg pushes up. We bring it up towards the chest. Keep that strong position, lower it back down with control. Do that one more time. Right leg is pushing down, left leg is pushing up, but with control, we bring it up towards the chest. Beautiful. Lower it down nice and slow and controlled, and then pause for a moment. Relax everything. Relax your inner thigh, relax your outer thigh. Take a nice big breath. When you're ready, step your right foot off the left. Left leg is going to come across the right. So loose to start. We're just taking a couple of lift and lower. So lift your right leg up, lower it down, find that softer range of motion. Awesome. And then the next time your leg touches down, engage that left leg. So we want to imagine that we're pushing the left leg down. Keep that left leg engaged, hands on so you can feel it if that helps. And now we're going to add that leg lift. So we're going to keep that left leg pushing down. The right leg is going to push up to create that resistance. We're going to keep that resistance as we bring the legs towards the heart. Keep that resistance as we lower the legs back down. Keep that resistance lifting up. Keep that resistance and lower it down. Beautiful. Keep that resistance, lift it up. Keep that resistance to lower it down. Maybe take about 2 more times just to find that good work at whatever pace makes the most sense to you. Nice. And then the next time that foot touches down, step your left foot off the right, come back to constructive rest. Walk your feet out, let your knees drop in towards each other, and then let everything rest for a moment. Inner thighs relaxed, outer thighs relaxed. Butt muscles as soft as they can be, arms out at your side. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, we're going to pull the knees into the chest with a light little squeeze, maybe just a gentle rock side to side. And now from here, we're going to start to find a little rock and roll up to a seated ragdoll. So grab your backs of your thighs or whatever grab works good for you. Take a couple of good rocks and rolls. And then when you feel ready, rock and roll your way up to a seated position, legs out in front of you, knees super generously bent. Take a nice big breath, lift up and overhead. Exhale, reach towards your feet. Does not matter if you can touch your feet, just whatever handhold works good for you. And then just come back to your breath and think about breathing into your low back. So although we breathe into the lungs and we breathe into the space of the rib cage, imagine that you're bringing breath all the way down into your low back. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly, mindfully walk yourself up. And then we're going to swing the legs all the way around so that we can come into tabletop position. So swing your legs around in a way that works good for you. Once you found your tabletop, we're going to curl both sets of toes under, take a couple little gentle rocks forward and back, just kind of tuning in, noticing your toes and the bottoms of your feet. Nice. Now, the next time your butt comes back toward your heels, go back as far as you feel is sustainable. And now we're going to add a little element of strength. So you're going to imagine that you're pushing the pads of your toes down into the ground, and maybe you'll feel a little bit of a lift in the center of your foot, and then relax the toes back down. Push into the pads of your toes like you're trying to push your butt away. Nice. And then relax and soften. Do that one more time. Push into the pads of your toes. Beautiful. Release and soften. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, lift your butt up away from your heels, release your toes, move right into puppy pose. Hands are going to walk towards the front end of your mat. Arms as wide as feels good to you. Make some space for your belly and chest, and then soften everything down. Take one more breath here. And now we'll add an element of strength in our puppy pose. So when you're ready, press into your palms, pull your ribs back like you're rounding the upper part of the body, broaden your shoulders, pull the ribs back, and then soften your chest back down. And then do that again. Press into the palms, round through the back of the body, and then soften your chest back down. Do that one more time. Press into your palms, pull the ribs back, feel your abdominal muscles engage. And then soften and release. Elbows and forearms are going to come down onto the ground. So we're going to set ourselves up to come into our Sphinx position. Once you've got your elbows and forearms down, step your feet to the back end of your mat. Maybe pause in that low plank position just to feel that strength in your body. And then when you feel ready, release your knees, release your toes, come right into your Sphinx, pull your heart forward, squeeze between the shoulder blades, press up through the top of your head. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, walk your elbows wide, soften down. We're going to move right into intense shoulder stretch. So right hand's going to reach straight up from the shoulder, press into your left hand, roll over onto your right, step your left foot behind you, take one breath. Slowly and mindfully release, come through center, slide that right hand in, extend the left leg out, left hand out, roll over onto your left hip, step your right foot behind you. Take one good breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully roll back onto your belly. Now we're going to go into half locust here. So if you know you like to tuck your fingers under those bony hip points, tuck your fingers, any other placement of the hands that you like best. But once you've got your hands in place, start to just shake the heels, just a little rock of the heels side to side. What we want to do is encourage a softness in the thigh muscle. So think about where the thigh bone connects to the hip bone. We want to get just the legs feeling loosey-goosey. And once you feel like you've kind of softened some things up, let that come to stillness. Pull your right toes away from you, nice and long, like you're trying to pull them to the wall behind you or towards the end of your mat. Pull that leg nice and long, and then pull it so long and so far that it lifts and lengthens up. And then pull that toe so far away from you as it lowers down. Once that foot touches down, give your heels a soft little shake, come back to that looseness. And then when you're ready, let that come to stillness. Pull the left toes away from you. Pull them so far that the leg lengthens and lifts up. And then pull those toes so far as you lower down. Once that foot touches down, come back to that loose little shake. Just wag your heels a little side to side. One more little wag of the heels. And now we're going to go both toes at the same time. So you're going to pull those toes away from you, lift and lengthen up. You might not get as much range of motion. Don't worry about that. Reach your toes away from you, lower both feet down with control. Once they touch down to the ground, soften your butt, shake out your heels, release your hands from underneath your hip points. We're going to slowly push our way up to a tabletop position. Once you've got your way up into tabletop position, we're going to take it into a sort of down dog shape, but slightly soft. So think butt up in the air, knees nice and bent. Now we're going to elephant crawl. So we're going to crawl our way forward to the front end of the mat and then crawl your way backwards, but take your time. Keep your butt slightly up in the air. Keep your knees slightly bent. Notice the strength in your shoulders. Notice the strength in your wrists. Notice the coordination that happens through the muscles in the back of the body as you do this work. The next time you find your way towards the middle of your mat, where your down dog position would typically be, land there and then move your way into your more traditional down dog. Straighten your legs just as much as feels good. Let your heart melt towards your thighs. Heels are getting heavy towards the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. When you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way up to standing, take your time as you come up. And then once you come up to standing, just give everything a minute. Notice your equilibrium, notice your breath, notice how your body feels. Great, and then when you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, warrior two, drop the back heel, turn the toes out, right hand is gonna pick you up. Beautiful, we're gonna take 3 straight ends of that leg, but we're gonna keep our arms just as they are. So keep a little bit of reach through your arms, take 3 bends and straightens with that front leg. And then the third bend, as you bend that knee, circle your hands down, pivot your back foot, come into your runner's lunge. Right away, plant your palms, step back to plank, bring your knees down, lower with control. One look over here, inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Push your way up to a tabletop, curl the toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold, keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, left leg back, warrior two to the other side. Drop the heel, turn the toes out, left hand picks you up. 3 straightens of that front leg, but keep your arms as they are. So maybe gaze forward, bend and straighten that front leg about 3 times. The next time you bend that knee, spin your hands around and down, find your runner's lunge, plant your palms, step right back to a plank. Right away, bring the knees down, lower with control onto your belly. Inhale up to a low cobra. Exhale to lower down. Push your way up to a tabletop position, curl the toes under. Exhale up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold, keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. We're gonna pigeon the toes again, but if it helps you find it, just pivot your heels out. So we want those toes now just a little bit more exaggerated. So turn the toes in, heels are gonna come out. Once you've found that position with your legs, arms are gonna come out nice and wide, and we're gonna go thumbs up. So open your arms nice and wide, and then we're gonna micro bend the knees, curl the tailbone under just slightly. Now we're gonna tip the thumbs forward, and draw some circles. Everything else is going to stay pretty stable. So we got pigeon toes, slightly bent knees, tailbone slightly curled under. One more circle around. And now we're going to flip thumbs back. So thumbs are going to face backwards, and then reverse your circles and go the other way. Nice. One more circle around. And then when you're ready, release your hands, shrug out your shoulders, step your feet back so that the toes are pointing fairly forward if that feels like the most comfortable position for your mountain pose. And then once you've found your mountain pose, root down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, step the right leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, right hand picks you up. One, straighten up that front leg, and we're going to move right into triangle pose. So straighten that front leg, pop the back hip out, find your triangle. So maybe you land at the thigh, the shin, the floor, or the big toe. Think about pulling those bottom ribs forward, rotate that top shoulder, but don't worry about where your head is turned. So your head is just going to turn wherever feels the most comfortable, but focus on those bottom ribs pulling forward, top shoulder reaching back. One more breath. Strong legs, strong side body. Lift yourself up and reverse your triangle. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up. Take one more breath. And then we're going to spin it down to the ground. So bend that knee, pivot your back heel, circle your hands around, plant your palms, step back to plank, pause in your plank position. Take one more breath. Bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra just as high as you like. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog, whatever feels more comfortable. Right leg is going to come up nice and high into three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open, take one big breath. And then step that foot through to the top of your mat into a runner's lunge. Once you've got your runner's lunge, get your legs arranged, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Left hand's going to stay on the ground, right hand's going to reach up for a twist. Beautiful. Bring that right hand down, pigeon your right toes, step the left foot up to meet, and then both toes are going to be pigeoned in towards each other. Once you've got that little bit of a pigeon toe situation, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way up nice and slow and controlled. Roll your shoulders around, down, and back. Thumbs up, thumbs back, circle 3 times. Thumbs up and then thumbs forward, circle 3 times. Release your arms down, return your feet to their neutral position. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Left hand picks you up. Straighten that front leg, move right into your triangle pose. Think about pulling those bottom ribs forward, top shoulder back. More breath. Strong leg. Lift up into your reverse triangle. So left hand is going to touch down, right hand's going to reach up. Maybe you look upward. Beautiful. When you're ready, lift up through your warrior two, circle your hands around and down, plant your palms, step back to plank, and pause in your plank position. When you're ready, release your knees, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra as high as you like. Exhale to lower down. Either push your way up to tabletop or find your way up to down dog in whatever way you like best. Left leg is going to come up nice and high, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Step that foot through to the top of your mat into your lunge. Get yourself arranged there first. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath. And then when you're ready, right hand stays down, left hand reaches for a twist. Beautiful. Left hand's going to float down. Turn your left toes in so you get that slight pigeon toe. And then we're going to step the right foot up to meet into that bent knee pigeon toe position. So big toes are pointing in towards each other. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Take your time as you roll your way up. Arms out at the side, thumbs up. Tip the thumbs forward. Draw 3 circles in one direction. Tip your thumbs up and then back. And then draw those circles the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, float your hands down, return your feet to that more neutral position, find your mountain pose, anchor down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. We're going to inhale, arms up, interlace the fingers, pointers up towards the ceiling. Legs are going to stay nice and solid and strong, and we're just going to start to tip side to side. One more little tip side to side. And then as you come to center, arms are going to stay up and overhead. Transfer your weight onto your favorite foot first. Come into a little bit of a tree pose. So foot just to the calf or toe on the ground, whatever feels more stable. Once you feel like you found that stable position, add a light little side bend. So we're going to lean towards the bent leg. Come back up through center. Keep your arms up and overhead. Set that foot down. Bring it back into your tree pose with the other foot on. Once you found a little stability, a little bit of bend towards the bent knee. Beautiful. When you're ready, come back to center, set that foot down, float your arms down, find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, step the right leg back, warrior 2. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, right hand picks you up. Straighten that front leg, move right into your triangle pose. Strong legs, strong side body, lift up into your reverse triangle, drop that back hand, reach the front hand up. Spin those hands around and down, find your way into your runner's lunge. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees or lower in chaturanga, whatever you like best. Inhaling up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through your table to down dog. Right leg up into 3-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Step that foot through to the top of your mat, runner's lunge. Left hand stays down, right hand reaches up for a twist. Lower that right hand down, but now we're going to toe heel the right foot out nice and wide. So toe heel it out to the widest point to the edge of your mat. Bring your back knee down, release your back toes, hips sink down, heart comes forward. Take a nice big breath. Add that twist again. Left hand's going to stay down, right hand's going to reach up. Beautiful. When you're ready, release that hand down, curl the back toes under, pick that back knee up. We're going to step the left foot up nice and wide. So step that left foot up to the top left corner of your mat. Once you found your way here, just take a couple little wops of your hips. So bend your knees, wiggle your hips a little side to side, just as much big motion as you can find here. One more little rock side to side, and then come to center. Toe heel your feet so they're about hip width distance apart. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way up to standing. We're going to do our little funky grip. So as we come up, wrap your hands around, get that little funky grip, and then draw your rib cage in circles. Circle in one direction. Draw your ribs in circles, go the other way. Come to center, unlace your arms, float your hands down, roll the shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior 2. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, left hand picks you up. Right into triangle pose, straighten that front leg, pop the back hip out. Find your depth of work here. Strong legs, strong side body, lift up into reverse triangle, drop the back hand, reach the front hand up. Beautiful. When you're ready, spin those legs, spin those arms down to the ground, bend that front knee, find your runner's lunge. Awesome. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Bring your knees down or lower in chaturanga, whichever you like best. Inhaling up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Left leg comes up into three-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Step that foot through to the top of your mat, find your runner's lunge. Right hand stays down, left hand reaches up. Release that hand down, but to the inside of the foot, and then toe heel your left foot out nice and wide. Once you've got that left foot nice and wide, bring the back knee down, release your toes. Once you've got that back knee down, left hand reaches up again for that twist. Beautiful. Bring your left hand down, curl the back toes under, lift your back knee up, keep your left foot wide, step your right foot up to meet. So a nice wide position. Once you've got that wide position, bend your knees, rock your hips. Toe heel your feet in so they're about hip width distance apart. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll your way up to standing. As you come all the way up, do that funky grip. Wrap your hands around, up and overhead. Once you've got that funky grip, roll your ribs around, circle in one direction. And then when you're ready, take those circles and go the other way. Beautiful. Let those rib circles come to stillness. Unlace your arms, float your hands down, pause for a moment, find your mountain pose, anchor down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. Nice. When you're ready, inhale, arms up, hands meet chest, lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, step the right leg back, warrior two, drop the back heel, turn the toes out, right hand picks you up. Right through that warrior two into your triangle, straighten that front leg, dip forward just as far as feels good. One breath. And then lift up into your reverse triangle. Lift up, right hand touches down, left hand reaches up. Beautiful. When you're ready, circle your hands around, find your runner's lunge. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Right leg up into three-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Step that right foot up nice and wide to the top right corner of your mat. So nice wide lunge, bring that back knee down, release the back toes, right hand's gonna reach up for a twist. Right hand down, curl the back toes under, pick the back knee up, keep that right foot out nice and wide, maybe turn the toes out, step the left foot up to meet. So a nice wide position. We're gonna sink into one light little squat, so let your butt sink as far down as it goes. And then once you're at your edge, pick your butt up, toe heel your feet into about hip width distance apart, roll your way up to standing, roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, left leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, left hand picks you up. Straighten that front leg, come right into your triangle. Nice and strong, lift up into reverse triangle. Nice and controlled, bend that front knee, spin those hands around, find your runner's lunge. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Bring the knees down or lower in chaturanga. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Left leg up into three-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Step that left foot up to the top left corner of your mat. Bring that back knee down, release the back toes. Left hand's gonna reach up for a twist. Release that left hand down, turn your left toes out, Pick your back knee up. We're going to step the right foot up into our Malasana, nice low squat. So get your nice wide position with your legs, sink your butt down, but we're going to add a little twist to our squat. So get your legs arranged in a way that works good for you. And now right hand's going to reach out nice and wide. Plant that hand on the floor. The back of the arm is going to press against the inner thigh. Left hand's going to reach, and you're going to look to that left hand. Beautiful. Release, and we're going to take it to the other side. Left hand's going to reach out nice and wide. Plant the hand on the ground. Butting up the back of the arm against the inner thigh, reach your right hand up. Nice. Now we're going to come back to the right. So bring that right hand to the inside of that inner thigh, but now we're going to see if we can just get a little wrap. So hands are going to reach around. Even if you can't wrap the fingers, see if you can just kind of find that little bit of reach and twist. Pull that left shoulder back, look over the left shoulder, take a breath. Release gently with control, and we'll take it to the other side. So left hand's going to reach across and around. Right hand's going to reach behind and around. Don't worry if you can't clasp your hands. That's not what we're going for here. We just want that bit of rotation. Pull that right shoulder back, look over your right shoulder. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully release. Sit your butt right down onto the ground. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. Once you've got your butterfly position, lean forward just enough so you feel a little bit of gentle sensation, but nothing extreme. And then take 3 nice big breaths here. Beautiful. Lift up and off, but keep your legs in that position. We're going to walk the hands back. So we're going to lean out and away from that butterfly. Give a second to let your inner thighs chill out. Make sure your knees feel good. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Next inhale, we're going to lift up. So we're going to come back into that fold. So bring yourself a little bit further forward this time. And then once you found that slightly little bit forward fold, walk your hands off to one side. Lovely. Walk through center and then take it over to the other side. Nice. When you're ready, walk through center, pause there, take one more breath. And then walk yourself up nice and slow. Grab the outsides of the thighs, help the knees come together. Have your blanket handy nearby. And then we're going to, if you can, before we get down on the ground, we're going to sort of bunch it up into as much of a thick pile as we can. So if it helps you to do it while you're sitting up, take a second to get yourself set up, but just have it handy and nearby. And then once you're ready, roll your way down onto the ground. We're going to toe heel the feet out nice and wide and come back to some gentle windshield wipers, just swishing the knees side to side. Nice. One more swish of the knees side to side. And then as your knees come back to center, toe heel your feet so they're about hip width distance apart. Grab your folded up blanket and we're going to slide that folded up blanket underneath our hips into a supported bridge. So get that blanket in place, nice and soft. We want to softly land our hips onto that blanket and then just give your butt a little wag. Make sure everything feels like it's in a good position. Once you've got yourself in a good position, arms just out in anatomical position and come back to your breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Now, this might be beneficial for you and you might choose to stay here, but if you want just a little extra something, we're going to slide the right leg long and the left hand up. So think half of the big good morning stretch, reach your right leg long, reach the left hand away from you, and hopefully here you'll find a little bit of stretch or stress right through that right front pocket area. So breathe in and then see if you can also notice the left side of your rib cage, finding that little bit of opposition or pull in that space, and then take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out, keep the right leg long, release your left hand, and now we're going to go right hand. Right hand's going to reach up and overhead. Take a nice big breath. Release your right hand, slide your right foot in, and we're going to switch to the other side. So now left leg is going to go nice and long. Once you've got that left leg nice and long, right hand, so opposite hand, opposite foot are going to reach out and away from each other. So think half of that big good morning stretch. Keep your leg long, but switch arms. So right hand's going to come down, left hand's going to reach up. Awesome. And now we're going to go both hands, both legs. So if you like, step your other foot out to meet and then reach both arms up and overhead. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly release your arms, step your feet in, pause for a moment in that supported bridge. Just give a second to let your front pocket area relax, let your abdominal muscles relax, let your back relax. Just notice how you feel in that supported bridge. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, push into your feet, lift your hips up away from your blanket, slide that blanket out from underneath you, lower your hips with control. We're going to bring both legs up into a bent knee tabletop position. Once you've got your legs there, arms are going to come out nice and wide like a T. And we're going to start by using our oblique muscles to just find a little bit of core work here. So we're going to take the knees from side to side. Arms are going to stay out nice and wide. You're going to tip your legs across just to the point where you feel those side abdominal muscles kick on, and then bring it back over to the other side. Beautiful. Now, the next time your knees tip over to the right, let them sink all the way down. Take your time as you find your way down. Readjust anything that you need to. I like right hand on the thigh to push the thighs down, but if you don't like that depth of work, don't worry about that. If you like to press the thighs down, think about pressing your left shoulder down and then maybe see how it feels to turn your head to the left. Take one more breath. If your hand is on your thigh, go ahead and release it. With control, bring your legs back through center, and then we're going to take them over to the other side. So with control, drop your knees over to the left. Readjust anything that you need to, and then think about anchoring your right shoulder, maybe left hand to the thighs, maybe you turn your head to the right. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, head returns to center, release your handhold of your legs, float those knees back to center, and then pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze, maybe a gentle rock side to side. One more little rock side to side, and we're going to come back to our figure four. So left foot's going to step down onto the ground. Right leg is going to come across the left. You're going to push your hand into the thigh, and the thigh is going to resist. So as you push your hand down, you're going to imagine you're pushing your inner thigh up. So hand pushes down, thigh pushes up. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that. And now we're going to create that resistance with the left leg as the right leg pushes down. So push your right leg down and hold that resistance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that. Lift the left leg up. Thread your hands through. Find whatever handhold you like best. Draw the legs into your comfort level. Take one more breath. Release with control. Step the right leg off the left. Set yourself up to the other side. Left leg across the right. Left hand to the inner thigh. Hand pushes down. Thigh pushes up. So find that resistance and hold that resistance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that. Move your hand away. Push your thigh down as the right leg resists. Hold that resistance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that go. Lift the right leg up, thread your hands through, get the handhold you like best, and then draw the legs into your comfort level. Take one more breath. As you release your legs, you're going to step them out super wide. So we're going to come back to our windshield wipers with those hip circles. So step your feet nice and wide and then drop your knees over to the right just as far as they go. And then draw some circles with your hips. Doesn't need to be big range of motion, but we're just finding that muscle action. Draw some circles in one direction. And then draw those circles the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, let that come to stillness, switch over to the other side. Drop your knees over to the left, just as far as they'll go. Once you're at your end range of motion, draw some hip circles. Circle in one direction. And then circle the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, float your legs back to center. Let the knees drop in towards each other. Pause just for a moment in your constructive rest and just notice. Notice your hips, notice your back, notice your belly, notice your shoulders. And then ask yourself where would be your best Shavasana, especially if you're in a chilly room. Take a second to grab your blanket, get yourself all tucked in, get nice and cozy in your space. And then as you get yourself tucked in, before you get into that super, super relaxed state, we're going to scrunch up the feet and scrunch up the hands. So scrunch up your toes, curling up the bottom of the foot and scrunch up your hands like you're making little fists. And then hold that tight position. Hold it nice and strong. And then relax and release just a little bit. And then do it again. Scrunch up your feet, scrunch up your hands, hold that tight position. And then release. One more time. Scrunch up your hands, scrunch up your feet, hold it there. And then when you're ready, soften your hands, soften your feet, and then let everything else get soft as well. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, or if your day requires it, start by just gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Keep that nice little gentle twinkle of the fingers and toes, but start to add a gentle turn of your head side to side. Keep wiggling your fingers, keep wiggling your toes the next time your head turns to the right. Stay there and add just a tiny little nod of the head up and down. Keep your fingers wiggling, keep your toes twinkling, and then when you're ready, turn your head to the left and add a nod of the head up and down there. Nice. And then when you're ready, return your head to center. Slowly and mindfully start to walk your legs in so that you can pull both knees into your chest. Take your time as you do that. And then once you've got your knees in toward your chest, we're going to pull it in for a light little squeeze and then release. Pull it in for a light little squeeze and then release. Do that one more time. Pull it in for a light little squeeze and then release. And then in your own way and at your own pace, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Could be Sukhasana with legs crossed. And especially if you like to sit on your little cushion, grab your blanket, put it underneath your butt. So it's like you're sitting on a little cushion chair, and then find your nice upright spine, whatever that means to you. And then once you found your way there, just for a moment, close your eyes down, let your hands just rest in whatever relaxed position they find. Notice your breath coming in and out through your nose. On your next in-breath, bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Take the hand that's on the belly, stack that hand on top of the hand that's on the heart, and then breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday. You guys are amazing.